Hello everyone, this is Psycho2K here with Gospel, and Yuva should be joining in a bit. I don't know if he knows we're on speaker mode because earphones can't pick up stuff. But yeah, we're gonna talk about as a whole the whole series so far. And right now we just finished episode 11 with the introduction of our fourth Kamen Rider Jean, which is our female writer, another female for the Revice, which is getting the hang of it. Unlike Heisei, who killed a lot of female writers. But yeah. And I'm here with Gospel, Yua, and we're gonna talk about what we think of this series so far. And obviously the first I want to talk about is the outfit, which is what came out obviously, which is Revice. And what do you think of it?
It's a good suit. When the suit came, when it was first leaked, I was a bit upset because I didn't really think that I would really I didn't really think I would actually like the suit naturally, but later more posts later kept coming, then more magazines came up about all the other the first 10 revised forms. Then I remember, I think the first suit I literally fell in love was the revised the revised Eagle suit, and I fell in love with it. Then basically the first episode of Revice came across, and I got a full suit. Then I loved the suit immediately. Vice as well. Vice's suit was also Vice's suit isn't there's nothing special about it, but it was really good. It was done really nicely.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of a fan of colors that stand out. That's why I like Gam, because it was orange and blue. Those are colors that pop. Because usually we get every writer that's like the typical red, black, certain colors that's dark in my opinion. And for me, I like Decade because it was bright, and Dano's bright, and then you have the Revice, which is kind of cool because it's like magenta, like crayon kind of colors, pink and crayon, in a way.
Yeah, it gives you that exit vibes in a way.
I like the whole theme of I guess a dinosaur theme. Even though I feel like Revice doesn't feel like a dinosaur. Vice looks like a dinosaur, but I feel like Revice looks more like a demonic T-Rex in a way. Obviously, his motive is a T-Rex, but yeah, I like it.
Yeah, really.
Now, what do you?
This is really.
What do you think of Icky as a character, though?
Icky as a character, he's good. There isn't really much going on over here. I mean, the only nitpick I've got for Icky is that he's too much of a busybody, if you understand what I mean. He gets involved in other people's trouble, without even being asked. I really don't like that. I don't like it.
I mean, it fits his character because that's what he is. Even his parents and all that say he's the type that wants to get into everyone's involvement. I guess he's a problem solver. He wants to solve everyone's problems.
Yeah, he wants to solve everyone's problems. But when it came to his little brother when it came to Kagero hunting his little brother's body, he literally had to take the whole series about I think the season 2-3 episodes with one that ended up in one that basically ended up in how do I describe it again? It ended up as I forgot what's called. But basically it just ended as the episode ended at in a rider kick, then just the episode fully ended over there. They had to wait. Then we had to wait.
Oh yeah. We'll get to that when we get to it. But yeah, what about you, Yuva? I haven't heard from you. What do you think of the character in the suit?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Quite good. So, I have to say, when we first saw Revice, or Revice to be exact, we all thought it's gonna be like a Akiva rider, Akiva. With the helmet style and everything. But I have to say that I really like the combination of light pink and cyan.
Yeah.
It turned out to be very good than I expected. And I have to say, I don't know if I'm watching Kamen Rider or Among Us, because everyone in this series is
Yes, yes.
yes, everyone.
Like
Everyone.
even the side characters like feel like they're suspicious. Like everyone has like some sort of secret, you know. And I honestly, that's one thing I want to talk about is the side characters. Like everyone like has a role in this show. It kind of gives you that Kamen Rider drive and what's the other show like Wizard in a way where the side characters actually do something.
Yeah, there's a lot of involvement in the series, and we see a lot of scenes with George, who is
Oh
I think one of the most sus
yes.
characters.
Can we all agree that George is all of us in spirit with all those toys? I envy that. All those toku toys.
Yeah, all the time.
Which kind of makes it makes me think of a theory, but I'll talk about that like when we get to it.
Yeah, all the time when we focus on a specific, for example, when Tingy Iki at the Brachio Genem, at the end of the episode, basically he uploads all of the figures, all of Gio's toys. He uploads them all on Twitter all the time.
Yeah.
That guy is a diehard Rider man.
I mean, man, yeah, I agree on that. Like, I love his English and Japanese talk he does. Like, it's like English and Japanese. It's just hysterical how he does that. I don't know. I kind of want to talk about, I guess, we'll see. Like, the first episode. What would you guys think of the first episode? Because, to me, I think, honestly, it was a fresh breath air compared to Saber. Like, the first episode, Saber was compared to, like, Revice first episode.
Saber's first episode was dead. Like,
Yeah.
I was watching it and I almost felt like going to sleep. Like, it was so plain. Like, compared to 01, 01 had, like, I think 01 had some nice story to it, and, like, everything felt like on its way and the rest. But Saber just felt like one thing. But with Revice was something new and fresh.
I kind of felt like I feel like Revice and 01's first episode felt like the same in a way. Like it felt great, like from the rider kicks to the fighting style. Like both of them felt like a fresher breath air. Like why couldn't this be the second series right after 01? Because I always feel like after a good series, there's always one flop of a season, and then it picks up again. And I feel like that with the Hesse era. You had Kuga, and then Agito fell flat to me, and then Ryuki kind of picked it back up. And it feels like that same thing again, where like the third season's always better than the second season.
I don't really know why they do that, but like when it comes to Saber, like I like it was really upsetting that first episode. Basically, when a new story is created, it's normally being recognized by the first episode. How did it go? And like as you said before, that first episode was disappointing. But with Revice episode 1, that was really good. That we basically got to see the whole family, what they did, and basically saw how basically Iki got to change his destiny from being like being a boy or something.
And even though it's supposed to be Daiji's moment, you know. Exactly. But we'll get to him after, because he's obviously going to be our second writer. But what do you think, Yuval, the first episode?
To talk about comparisons, you have to remember that the one who wrote Saber is Kamen Rider Ghost director. So, and even when it was announced, when you heard Kamen Rider Saber, it sounded with a lot of swords and everything. But when you saw the trailer, and you could see how Saber changes its forms based on the Wonder Ride books, everyone thought it's going to be like Kamen Rider W, but a little bit enhanced.
Yeah.
It can change his right hand, his body, and left hand, and it all went into disaster.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to say, the first episode of Revice was very nice. I really liked how George did the Kamen Rider Ichigo's henshin step.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think that was the highlight, and also how Vice breaks the fourth wall all the time.
Yeah, it gives me that Deadpool vibe. Which is like another rumor that the series feels like a comic book, kind of opposites to certain characters that are comic book wise.
But it's not all. It's not being over pushed so far like Zenkaiger.
Yeah.
I think they're doing it on a very mediocre level, which is perfectly fine for me. It's combined with seriousness, mysterious, dark a little bit, and also a little bit of comedian. It's very nice.
Yeah. Obviously, we got his first form change, I believe. Let me see. Well, I have the list, so obviously we'll show it. And I want to talk about the first forms one, which was obviously the first form we saw in the show was the W form. And
Eagle Genome.
Yes. And obviously, like I at first when I first saw it, I thought it was kind of like weird because it had like a wizard trench coat. But then after seeing it in action, it looks pretty good because obviously pictures is gonna be a lot different than what it shows in the show. When you see a picture, I think it's like a combination of a wizard and O's, but then when we see it in action, it looks pretty cool. Like the only issues I do have complaint about, and it's mostly just only that, is the CGI on the forms that they turn into. Obviously, they have to use their CGI on something, and it's just the beast forms that they do. Some look good and some look weird.
They're remix forms.
Yeah. And it's just those issues that I have that the eagle one does not look like an eagle. I don't know. I didn't see it, but just to see the fact that they incorporate, it's an anniversary season, obviously. The fact that they don't really force certain characters, like, oh, this is Kamen Rider O's. You can't tell, like, not O's, but W. You can't tell until you henshin it that it's like, oh shit, look, it's W, but a different look, and I like that because it doesn't force like past characters down your throat. It's like a unique twist to it.
Yeah.
I'll have to say that I think it's a little bit more better than W Armor, which was presented in Kamen Rider Zio. What I really liked is they made a reference to the riders they're inheriting the power from. So instead of now count up your sins,
it's
called now count up your wings.
I love that. I love that they have their like it's a catchphrase, but it goes with what the monster form that they're using is. So I like that they had like
fantastic.
Yeah, they don't copy like past like Kamen Rider's catchphrase. They actually do it their own way, and I like that. It's like a twist to it.
That's basically why we like it. That's why I love George as a character, basically, because George is like, it looks so simplistic and so childish, but like basically George is basically the one that makes the fun part of Revice, basically.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Those like the catchphrases of the vice stamps and of the belt, like was done really well. Like I don't really want to talk really deep because like they will have their own points, but those catchphrases and those gimmicks, they're really nicely done.
Yeah. What I do like though is the fact that they're kind of doing like it does like what's it called? What they call it every time they do an episode? Victims of the Week. I like that they only did it like one or two episodes, and then they started doing like a two-parter or like a focus on it. So, because obviously before that we got the introduction of the Deno form, and I gotta say I like that Deno form.
Yeah, me too.
The use of the mammoth and the tusk as boomerangs, like that looks pretty cool. And I think that was like the form he used a lot in most of the episodes until he started switching it up.
Yeah, yes, that's. I think he used the most until I think he used that most. Then I think the second most he used was eagle, the lion.
Oh yeah, right after the lion one, he stopped using it. That's true.
Yeah.
But I love the form because it kind of gives you that Deno vibe with the shit, the mask, like the eyes. I like that. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
Did you also notice how the mammoth vice stamp gets into? Sorry, try to think about it. Did you see how the transformation of the mammoth vice stamp looks like? They actually made it like the tray split into two.
yeah,
Like,
I noticed that.
That was very nice.
I like the details they do into it. Like I like the details that they incorporate, like other Kamen series into like small details. Like it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't force you like zero. Was it Zio? It doesn't force it down your throat. Like you don't see past Kamen Riders here or anything like that, or their forms look ridiculous. Because I did not like Zio's forms. Like they're all big and huge and clunky. Here it fits it. It suits the character. It morphs with it, and you can't even tell it into like you kind of glances like, oh wait, I know that rider. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, practically, I think the only form I think is basically just a straight copy was that Geo. I think that, in my opinion, that's just basically looking like Geo 2.
Oh,
That's what I basically think.
the Brachiosaurus form, right?
Yeah, that one was ridiculous.
That kind of looks
Especially
like
the
Grand Zeo, isn't it? It's like a fusion of Grand Zeo. No, not Grand Zeo.
For me, it
I
looks
think
like
Omazeo, maybe.
Yeah, Amazero. Yeah, there it is. Amazero, like the final boss.
Yeah.
no, to me, that form looks like another Geo 2 for me.
I mean, yeah, you really can't work with it though. What can you work with it to make it look kind of like Revice and Zeo? There's not much. It's like a bulky thing with a raw watch. They made it longer. They made the front part longer.
That's why I hate it. That's the reason why I hate it. They made it so long. They made that thing so long.
I mean, it's a Brachiosaurus. How else you gonna do it? It's supposed to be like the tail. I'm guessing. What can you do it? Yeah, like that. There it is. Like what you post it.
Yeah,
Just with a longer.
Just with a longer thing, yeah.
I mean, that's what you're
That's
supposed to
why
do with a
that-
Brachiosaurus. What else are you gonna do with it? It's a long neck. They have to make it long somewhere.
Exactly, because of the remix form, that's why.
But yeah, obviously, I want to talk about, I guess, the episode when they introduced the girl and we start understanding that they could make full contract with the monster and combine with it. I honestly, I thought that story was very interesting. Like the whole part where she first gets kidnapped and we don't know the mystery yet of why she got kidnapped and all that until like after the episode ends and we see her unhood the hoodie and we find out that she pretty much hates the way her mom doesn't treat, like, ignores her and treats the little one more better because she's popular and a singer. And I think, and it kind of hits a lot of people who go through that phase that they get ignored by their parents over the better child, and the fact that she went mad about it and that she decided to combine with it. I honestly like that episode, especially like the part where at the end he transforms into the Vice version, the pterodactyl Vice. Yeah, and I honestly love that fight scene on that one.
I love that fight so much. That's one of the reasons why I love Vice so much. Vice was a really good season, and he had like really good suits, so that basically when Vice had its final form, I didn't really complain that much because like it looked good. And for Revice to basically get like inspiration from the Vice I forgot what form
the clock up mode, right? It's clock up mode. Because I noticed that the pterodactyl I think believe is a clock up form when he goes fast. Because the way that it looks like it's clock up form.
I think it's thank you. Vice Axel form. I love that form so much when it debuted in Vice. It was like a really good fight. So for the cast of Revice to basically get that into the show, that was a really nice touch. And the CG, everything. Was
yeah. I think Wolf Thunder said like, dude, they did do a lot of money to the CG effect. I'm like, oh, trust me, it gets better like that. They're using the CGIs wisely. They're not rushing it. They're picking when to do it and when not to do it. And I love the rider kick, like the rider kick that goes through her. And the only way, as George said, the only way to go through them is a rider kick. And he shows Ichigo, and it's like, Oh, that's like I love that. But I do want to talk about the what happens in those episodes. What slowly happens with his brother Daiji. You know, as you see the build up between him and Ikki slowly because Daiji was supposed to be the writer,
Yeah.
and then he got scared, and you see things slowly building up for him.
I guess the only thing I could say basically is that basically Daiji in a way caused it for his own self. Because he even tried to transform into Revice. He didn't have it. He wasn't compatible for that. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love that George told obviously the guy that got demoted because he also tried to use the belt and failed and made another monster in the first episode. He pretty much told that guy, "Hey man, because of you transforming into the monster, you pretty much made he got scared shitless and he Daiji got scared shitless. That's why he couldn't transform either." And it made me laugh because it's like, damn George, you don't have to be so harsh, man.
George really doesn't give a fuck what
No,
happens to the
he
person.
doesn't. That's what I like about George. He doesn't care about anyone. Anyone.
But as far everything goes into his own agenda, that's all he pretty much cares
And that's
about.
what
He
I
doesn't
want
care
to.
about-
That's what I want to know. What's going on with him? What is he hiding? Because I want to see how this series goes, man. We're only at episode 11, and it's already like got us intrigued. Obviously, it's a battle between Revice and Trigger. Obviously, it's a battle between those two because we're not counting the Sentai because Sentai is just bad now. And it's like Kamen Rider and Ultraman stepped up their game this time. And it's like, you know what? We gotta show up Sentai. And I mean, it's a hard battle because it's two series that's very good at the moment. Like they're stepping up this year.
And like,
I don't want to disappoint you too. I don't know if you heard about the recent allegations in Toei. Someone compiled a lawsuit file for sexual harassment.
I heard about that.
And even throughout that, Toei is in a big downfall, merchandise-wise, and everything. I mean, Ultraman, on the other end, is rising like shit right now. So,
Because I think right now Ultraman is actually a good season, and people are kind of getting into Ultraman like I did, and I guess everyone started watching other series to check it out as well.
I mean, Ultraman is really
Because I mean, Ultraman was down the slump as well for a while, right? Or slowly.
To what I've heard is that I think they had like a lawsuit back then, and like that really hit the production really badly. So I think they changed management. Once they changed management, like everything started going well. But I think it was up to Z when the company started streaming Z, and they had all those like past Ultraman games and the rest. That's when Superior like started hitting their limits when it came to toy sales. That was really good.
So I want to talk about obviously our next secondary writer. Obviously, I got confused with our other one, but this is officially our second writer, right? Well, his other version, and it's obviously Kamen Rider Evil. At first, when we first saw him, we don't know who he is. When we first saw him was in I think the episode where they had the Kuga lion, the Kuga form.
Yeah.
Now, there's something I do want to talk about, and it's in that episode where Evil comes out, and that's the monster they had. That monster gave me that O's vibe, the color schemes. I don't know if you noticed that.
And what do you remember what monster was that? Because I
It was the lion form, the lion monster that the Kuga he got the Kuga form from when they first beat it. Like the lion looked like O's form, like the color schemes and everything. I thought it was gonna be O's form, but I forgot it's Kuga, and it makes me think that some of the monster forms are also related to his past Kamen Riders, the color schemes.
I think that like the kaiju of the day, right? I think it gives like more a little bit of another O's. I think it gives me a little bit of that another O's vibes when Dankoro transforms into another O's. It gives me a little bit of that vibe.
Yeah.
For me.
But what do you guys think of Kamen Rider Evil when he first came in? Or well, obviously afterward we find out who he is. But like when he first fought Icky and Vice.
Not really much, really, because like I was confused to why. Well, at first I was like, who is this writer? What the fuck is he gonna do? Then
Yeah.
like when I saw his ambitions and shit, I was
And
like, oh shit.
and then we
How's this
found out
thing
what next episode is actually his brother.
was actually his brother, yeah.
And I was shocked. I remember Wolf Thunder Ranger thinking it was the other guy being the evil writer. And I'm like, yeah, no. And then when he found out who he was, like, what? Like, exactly. Like, it's a brother. We all, I mean, it kind of speculated that he was slowly, like, I believe the episode that slowly turned him into that was the Fize suit episode. When he fought his crush, in a way. And that's when you see Daiji realize something. And then obviously, I think George saw it at the bathhouse, if I'm not mistaken. Like they show a clip that he says, "Who is that?" And you can see him smirking in the mirror.
Yeah, believe it or not, I noticed that just like a couple of days ago. I rewatched that episode again, and I know George was going, who are you? And like I was confused. Why was he saying that to Daichi? But then I later took a close look at it because Toy put the episodes on YouTube, so I was able to see it in like
Yeah.
So I looked at the thing carefully. Then I later saw Daichi, but that was Kagero. I later saw him smiling. Then now I fully understand what George was doing over there.
Yeah, George wanted to, I guess, bring out that demon. Obviously, that's his demon. You know.
Yeah.
Like everyone has a demon, but I guess it's like locked away. I think with Revice, his came out a lot. Revice came out a lot earlier, and we don't know why he came out earlier. You know.
I mean,
maybe he already had it.
There's gonna be some speculations, and there's gonna what I want out of Vice is some very heavy character development, like character change and the rest. That's what I expect from Vice.
Yeah, that does remind me. I think there was an episode when he first signed the contract. Icky disappears from a photo, and that's when he slowly realized, like Vice realized, hey, something's up right here. Now I know there's a lot of theories going around. People are making so many theories when it comes to this, like that he slowly, I guess like a Back to the Future kind of thing, where if something happens, his parents disappear and his brother and sisters. But with this one, it's different. So I want to know what's going on with that. Why is Icky slowly disappearing? I know people are saying different theories that he's probably dead and all that stuff, but we don't know for sure.
We don't really know for sure. I guess we have to give time and let how the story develops, I guess.
Now I want to talk about the suit. I love the evil suit. It looks pretty cool. I always wanted more Bat Kamen Riders, because obviously we have Kiva and we have Kamen Rider Knight, but we don't have that many more. And to see another Bat suit kind of way, it looks pretty cool. Even though it looks like a fox, but I think people are saying that it's more of a upside down bat, like when a bat's upside down. It could possibly be a fruit bat, but I don't know.
Yeah, people speculate it's more like an upside down.
But I love his henshin device. Because it's like a blade at first, and then obviously his other half is obviously a gun.
It's not a gun, it's a tool to fill gas for cars and vehicles.
Yeah? Is it?
Didn't you see the memes?
Oh, yeah.
Read about Kamen Rider Live?
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah, I see those.
He's filling gas on the gun station.
Oh, yeah, I see that, yeah. Like, I noticed that. And then, obviously, we find out that it's Daiji, and, obviously, Daiji hates Icky for, obviously, many reasons. Pretty much, I think they did a mirror version with Daiji telling him, why are you doing this? And he's like, didn't you remember? You created me. Obviously, all that hatred that Daiji was building towards Icky kind of came out and created the demon in Maniface. There has to be a trigger in order to create a demon.
Yeah.
And that's what it was.
I don't think it's about hatred. Well, it's more like
jealous.
Daichi was the one to become Revice, but then he has no. a devil to, I guess, to cooperate with, and I think that's more like jealousy.
Yeah, there it is, jealousy.
He being the successful person, the successful brother of the family, and
Which we usually hate. There's always that one family member that's going to be more popular than you, so it builds up. So yeah.
And then Daiji had the urge to surpass him. And
Yeah.
I think that's why the two-side driver is the thing that made him, or made his devil to rise from the ashes. And that's why I liked Evil, because it's a jealousy form
Yeah.
of Daiji. That's what I think.
I love the color schemes as well, like purple and like was it greenish, teal, like purple teal.
It looks quite psychotic.
Yeah, I love the color schemes on this. It's like looks good. Obviously, I do like also his Well, obviously later on, his mom finally recovers, which she's been in the hospital for too long. You know, it didn't feel like she was injured that much, and she felt like she had bandages, and she was there for a while at the hospital, like 6 episodes in.
Or maybe those big 5 episodes lasted around a week or two in the series time.
Ah, yeah, I forget. For us, it's eternity, but for Kamen it's like a couple of days. So, obviously, we find out that. Well, obviously, let's talk about. I haven't talked about them. The Dead Man.
Oh yeah.
What do you guys think of them?
I have nothing much to say about them actually. I just want to see like what their plans are forward. But for now, I have nothing to say about them.
I love their outfits. I mean, obviously, it's based on Latin America, and well, not really Latin America, more Latin to Mexico, like the Latin American, the Hispanic culture. Let's just say that, because when I first saw that, people were like, "Why do they like that?" And then no one knew why they were based on it. Obviously, they based it on maybe Day of the Dead kind of feel to it, but when they started saying that it was in South America, it made sense because more of the Hispanic culture in a way. Obviously, the mariachi, the ballroom dancer. That kind of vibe, the Day of the Dead kind of vibes, and obviously they're the Dead Man, which makes more sense. And they're trying to resurrect the Gamu Gilfu, I forget what his name is, which is I think the stamp.
To be honest.
Huh.
Their costumes looks too festival to become evil. I expected like something more darker.
Well, it's true. But you gotta understand that the Day of the Dead, it's all about colorfulness as well. If you look at the Day of the Dead stuff, they're more color. So if you ever seen Coco, it's kind of like that. It's meant to be colorful.
I personally found it funny that they wear some festival costumes as they're supposed to be evil.
Well, we have their human form and they have their monster form, so yeah. But I get what they're going for because it's more of the Day of the Dead kind of culture and their color schemes. Because that's what you celebrate the Day of the Dead is mostly colorful fiesta in a way. To celebrate the dead.
Yeah.
So that's what they're going for. I guess they studied it. Even though it's South America, it's like kind of close but not really. But yeah, I get what they're going for. And obviously we find out that Daiji's going to take his well, obviously the family's going for a spa. Resort.
Yeah.
And that's when I start questioning a certain family following them. Like, what is that family's motive?
Yeah, that guy, especially that guy that looks, the guy that was Takaharu's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's really weird because, like, in a way, they look so weird because they, like, when I saw the scans in the magazines and when the leaks came out and the rest, it looks like that guy was part of the family.
Yeah, I thought that
like,
too.
Yeah, but like when it came episode over there, it looked like they were like they looked like something else. They looked so weird, and like when it came to their scene over there, the son and the mother over there, they were acting like puppets or something.
Yeah, I think the family knows, like, hey, you guys are always, wherever we go, you guys are always there too. What a coincidence.
That's really weird. If Revice can just explain why why that happens, I will be happy because
I,
I
I
really
think
don't.
isn't the son with the daughter in the karate class?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
right.
right. Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
so.
There is a simple explanation to that.
Uh huh.
They are suspicious. They are sus.
Oh yeah, all of them are.
Anyway,
Like even the what was the guy that was helping him with information? What was his name?
Usu.
Yeah, and even him. He kind of kept secrets too. Like, oh, I can't tell you where. I can't say. It's
Yeah,
like everyone. Like it feels like everyone is part of some sort of organization in a way. Like it seems like
but
there are
like
secrets.
yeah, but like when it comes to Busu, right? He doesn't look like he's doing anything suspicious out of the blue. But like the cat, like the stove, when that episode really focused on that family, they looked really weird. So
Yeah,
when it comes to Busu, that one isn't really probably like they've got someone that's probably doing behind the scenes story work and shit.
yeah.
But it else.
Well, there
It's really
was a
something.
detail. I don't know if you guys know. There was a detail like when Sakurai fought Aguilar for the first time and got defeated. You notice that the family, like the dad was, like the guy was like smiling, like I see. Like it makes you wonder if what happens later in the episodes, like that. You know how the Sakura gets something after. It makes me wonder if they're the ones that send it.
Ooh, not really sure actually.
Because the
Like
way he
just
was like smiling, like after she got defeated by Aguilar, and it was
yeah,
like it makes you kind of wonder, like put pieces together, because even George didn't know how she got that bout. No
yeah.
problem.
We don't really know where they got that belt from. I I really don't want to think that it came from the dead man's because like the dead man's, yes, they look small, but they don't look like the
Well,
type of people that would
if,
become
if you
riders.
remember correctly, I think then in the first episode, the dead man broke into the facility as well, and stole a bunch of
Yeah,
stamps. And even George said, I
yeah,
thought we were supposed to. Even the recent episode, George told him, like, I thought you got rid of that bout. It was a defect. I thought you threw it away.
yeah,
But
yeah,
obviously, like, go on with the episode when we first finally Daiji reveals himself. Obviously, the dead man followed him, and Aguilar tries to poison Revice, but Daiji saves him. Like, pretends to drop the
yeah.
glass because obviously he wants to. Which reminds me, we get the introduction of our third writer,
Yep. Kamen Rider Demons.
Demon, my favorite character in the show.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
Exactly. I love this character. Whether if they're making him feel like weak now, if they're doing, I hope not. Due to the recent episode I saw, I love his character. I love the way he is. Like even if I have to die, I will continue fighting. Or his catchphrase. I love the
Yeah.
catchphrase.
He
Oh,
he he, he really showed it like that catchphrase. He really like showed the actions of it in today's episode. Actually,
I
I just
love it because I love that this character was technically supposed to die first episode when they first started
yeah,
doing it, and then they liked his character and they liked the way he said it, that they decided to not kill him off and make him a writer.
yep,
And I love that because this suit is awesome. I love Spider Man, and this suit is legit Spider Man. Like when he got the bout, I was like yes. And then when he transformed, I was like, "Ooh, I love the theme of it. His theme feels like a boss monster. His standby phase, it feels like a boss is gonna come, and I love it. Like this character is cool. And his first fight scene, he was like doing like Spider-Man kind of stuff, flying there, shooting webs and stuff. And obviously, he's supposed to be based off Showa writers because his stamps are based off Showa characters like Amazon and
yeah.
I think V2 and writer X. But
It was X Amazon and
I think V2, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
V3.
V3. Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, V3.
But there's something to discuss about because I think on last week's episode he used the Condor Vice stamp, which is supposed to be to represent Kamen Rider Joker from W. That's
Oh
what people
really?
thought. So, So I don't know. So well, without a question, it represents the show writers, but why did you use
Maybe
someone from Asia? This is
maybe Revice gave him a stamp to use to fight creatures in the air because they could share stamps with each other. It's not like Gambit. It's all locked into one character. They go no. It's not Gambit. They could share their locks to each other. It's possible they could share stamps. I guess if he can't fight air things, I guess he could give him the Joker one. Because it didn't transform it, it just gave him wings. What it does, I think, with Demon, it gives him, like, attachments instead of forms. Because he used the Grasshopper, well, he used V1 as well, Ichigo stamp. When he first, the second time he fought.
Yeah.
So, I guess they could share different stamps and get different forms. Obviously, he's the only one that doesn't get form changes, he just gets attachments. Kind of like birth in a way.
Yeah, I mean, like, as for me, the first time when I saw this suit, I went like, I'm not gonna like it. Like, this the suit looks like, man, like all spiky stuff in the sides and the rest. But when I first saw the belt and I saw the LEDs, like I was interested. But when I later saw the fight, like I went like, oh my god, this guy is basically the best.
I love the LEDs on the side when you first hench and it lights up. I was like, ooh, that looks cool.
Yeah, that was really good. That was really good. Yeah, like basically that thing basically changed my whole opinion of Demon, and he's basically my best fighter in the season so far. Even
Yeah.
the belt is badass. Like I remember when they released the belt, they said, "Oh, the belt is going to be a premium Bandai release." Everybody was going, why is the belt premium Bandai? Does this belt deserve premium Bandai? It went 11K. As for me,
Jeez.
I think a belt that over at 64 LEDs.
Yeah.
That deserves
I want the belt,
I should-
honestly, too. It looks cool. It's simplistic. I like belts as simplistic. Because, I mean, Revice belts are not too complicated for me. But Demon's belt looks like more easier. Like, you could just easily just hench and fast. And I like it.
buy it. All in premium Bandai.
Yep. Gotta love Premium Bandai and their greediness.
Apparently, I heard a toy owner in Japan. Apparently, any toys that Bandai sell over 10,000 yen, that would be released as like a normal toy, to be released as a premium Bandai toy.
Yeah.
So any exclusive forms or any exclusive gimmicks or belts or anything that's over that 10,000 yen price point is considered a premium Bandai item.
Can we just talk about how Demon's devil is a wussy, a crybaby? I saw that and I was laughing because that's his inner demon. I think even Vice like, let's see what his devil is inside. He went inside. It's just him crying because that's like it made me laugh. It made me laugh because it's like it makes me feel like every character's devil is like an opposite of them. Like it represents something that they cannot they hold back or something, because obviously Demon shows he's very like straightforward and serious, but obviously his devil is more of a wussy and a crybaby, too scared.
Yeah.
You know, same as obviously Daiji is evil and good and bad. You know, choices. It represents choices you make, I guess, in a way. And then obviously I don't know what Devil and Vice are. They're like, I don't know. It's weird. Like I can't explain that one. Still trying to figure that. But obviously now we know Daiji turns on his brother and the family and beats him up. Like legit beats him. Like damn, those kicks and punches really bruise you up that fast. You know.
Spider-Man.
And I think Vice knew something was off with Daiji for a while, but Ikki was deciding like, just not today, man. Just like today's gonna be a peaceful day, because he sensed something was off. Obviously, he could see devils, you know, and like when we find out like they fight, I kind of want to like I love when they switch forms. Pretty much he goes into was it X-Aid's form, the Jackal form,
Yeah.
and obviously we get introduced to the Feist form as well, Kong form, and I love that they did Revice Kong form pretty cool. It kind of looks like Feist in a way, but just bulky.
I mean, Fires had his own, but like that like monkey type form type Revice, it looks more of a pose. Like even the shoulder parts and the rest look more
Yeah,
pose.
and I like the kind of gives you like Forze, but like bulkier, more like a gorilla Forze. And I love Jackal form for freaking evil. It looks pretty cool.
That could looks pretty cool for Damien. Yeah, they even brought us some leaks for life as well. Like it looks really cool for life and evil.
Yes.
I think it was for fight, but for evil and life, those suits look pretty much spot on them.
And then obviously we get to our little, I believe, was it after they find out he tries to save him, and then that's when Daiji explains to Kagero explains to him why he became like this, and like it's that episode before takes a 1 week break, which sucks because it was getting freaking good, and we get introduced obviously to Gam form, praying mantis form, and I love that form. It's legit. His form, the Segoku one, when he gets the bow and arrow.
It's the Sonic Arrow.
Yeah, Sonic Arrow. It's a combination of his first form with the Sonic Arrow stuff, I think. And I love it. I love that form. I'm a big Gang fan, and to see that again and like in its own revised twist, it looks so nice. You know.
Jibba Lemon had it like a special place in my heart because like that suit was so simplistic, but yet it was like nicely done.
Yes.
Like, when it comes to energy type riders in Gaim, I don't like those people that were wearing like the other drivers. I don't really like them, but the ones that were using the energy forms with the Sengoku driver, that was really spot on.
Yes. And I only felt that suit got his. The only thing I hate is that like it got beat pretty easily by Jackal form from Evil.
No, for me, right? I think that the reason why that form got beaten wasn't because the form was weak. It was because Iki's thought of mind was weak.
Ah, true. That's right. Because he's fighting his brother.
Exactly.
He wasn't all there.
It might be that Jackal's power is speed, so he couldn't really match with him because his speed was way better than
Gaim's because Gaim's more by balance swordplay. Yeah. I forgot Jackal form is supposed to be X8 speed forms, like faster. That's right. It's supposed to be faster than the cheetah.
I mean, it's true, but if you look at it, right, check out Revice thingy Kong form. That was like the pose form. Those forms, they look heavy as fuck, so they won't be fast. So how was Revice being able to beat a evil Jackal form like on that form?
Yeah.
Could he beat it Gaim's form? Like I get like speed is also like an important factor, but if they were able to do it with force, I don't see why they couldn't do it.
I think they hit the ground up in the air and bounce them and then fire rockets. And rocket fists are faster.
They used
Fair enough.
they used the advantage of their area,
Yeah.
so they could corner him.
They popped him up in the air and then fired 2 rockets at him.
Oh yeah.
But I do love the cliffhanger that they did when freaking Revice jumps in the air like, you want to defeat me? Well, Ryder kicked me, and he just does it. And it's like, oh, the cliffhanger. And then we get to the week, and obviously he de-transforms and he pretends he's Daiji, and that's what makes him stop and fly over him. Because he still sees him as his brother. Maybe like, oh, he's fighting it. Obviously, we're going to talk about, obviously, the introduction of Kamen Rider live.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't find a good picture of him, so I have that. And obviously we find out the episode that, they explain that Vice explains that obviously Daiji's still in there, just waiting. And we find out that, his parents tell him, like, oh yeah, Ikki, you're the one that found him, remember? You'll bring him back. In reality, we find out that it was Daiji who was strong enough to keep knocking that Ikki hurt him. That he was patient enough and strong still. And that's when he realizes that, oh, Daiji is a strong person. He doesn't really need my help. He can handle it himself.
Yeah.
Obviously, we get the introduction of the worst form, in my opinion. And I agree with you on that, Gospel, which is Zio's form.
Yeah.
And I think that's, out of all of them, I feel like that's one of the worst forms for Revice. At first I was going to say Kuga, but then looking at Revice Zio form, yeah, that's pretty clunky and big.
I mean, I like
You missed an important thing about evil and life.
Which is...
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
Oh,
Eeny, meeny, miny,
yes,
moe.
I
Eeny, meeny,
forgot.
miny, moe.
He has the best standby no ever. Eeny, meeny, miny. When I heard that, I was like, what? Really? And who would have thought that would be so catchy? You never thought they'll add a eeny, meeny, miny, mo into like anything until they did it in Kamen Rider.
I tell you, that guy George is so inappropriate, but like it makes it so fun. How can an evil rider have like such a childish stamp and like henshin stamp by jingle?
But
like,
it makes it work though. It makes it work because it sounds so creepy with the bats coming around you though. It actually made it
I wasn't
work.
ready for that.
No one was. I think it caught everyone off guard because if we all want to know what this standby was, and when I did that, I was like, "What? Is that really it?" Like it was so catchy, and like everyone wanted the catchiness of it, and it was just so good. And obviously
Sorry, I wanted to say I thought it was gonna be so straightforward because like Evil came out in the arcade game Gamble Rising, and like I thought like if the rider comes on the game before the show, they normally have to cut some of the ancient sand out because of like so that they don't spoil the show the rest. When they made somehow Henshin Pack came out, I thought it was going to be like so plain and boring and the rest, but when the thing came out in the show, I was legitimately laughing for almost
I did too.
Like I couldn't get that thing off my head.
It was one of those. It's one of those things like Demon felt very threatening and scary. Why Evil feels like it's like humorous but also threatening. Like it just makes you laugh, but you know damn well you're gonna get your ass beat because this guy takes no joke, And I love it. I think everyone's standby phase is very simple and simplistic. It's not long like Sabers. It's not like way longer than Sabers. It gets straight into it. And I think I forgot to mention, I love Revice and Vice chatting with each other behind the background, like texting each other when he's henshin.
That's a really good touch.
Like each one of them's henshin looks pretty cool. You got the bats coming out for Evil. You got the spider coming down for Demon, and it's like every transformation looks pretty cool. Like if it looks so cool when they henshin.
Even Jean or whatever her name is called. Even her henshin was really good.
Oh yeah, the Cobra. We'll get to her in a bit, obviously, because obviously there's also building. The demons are working on both family members. As you can see, Aguilar is working with trying to get the sister, while these guys were trying to get Daiji. But Daiji wound up becoming more mind control of himself. He was acting like the boss, in a way. But obviously, we find out that obviously the episode 10 was very good in my opinion. It introduced Live. And it made it really brought out Daiji as a character, because there was Evil. Obviously, Kagero was building his own character, but it also built out Daiji as a character as well. That he was really a strong person the whole time. He just was waiting, I guess, for the right time.
Yeah.
And that scene when he broke out of that glass, oh, that was so awesome.
Yeah, that was nice.
And. What were you gonna say?
I agree with you.
Oh, yeah, that scene was cool. But and then when he finally henshins, like obviously he henshins after the crappy XA form, Zeo form goes through and beats breaks, like I guess destroys him in a way that way he could break free. And then he finally gets free, and then the monster comes up because it's a combination. It's a Brachiosaurus as well, and it's a combination of I guess all three of the scammers who are former toku characters from past Sentais and side character, which is cool that they brought back Espada, what was it Maji Yellow / Beat Buster, and then the girl from Cure Major, and that was pretty cool. Yeah. Which made me I laughed about Gokaiger's 10-year special because of the with Maji Yellow and Go Beat Buster getting beat by Keiji Saba. Keiji Saba, it was like pretty much characters who played the same Sentai beat them down. That was hilarious. That made me laugh. But yeah, let's talk about the henshin of and the form of life. I think honestly I feel like the form is very bulky. I love the suit, but I feel like it's very like bulky. Like the opposite of, I guess it's like the opposite of evil. Evil's more like slim and quick. Well, I guess in a way, live is more. Obviously, they're opposites. Like evil, obviously, live backwards is evil. So obviously, it's light and dark.
Yeah, I mean, for me, live suits for me has that saber type of aesthetic in a way that I mean, is that it's got that like little type of trench coat like between the legs. That's what like all of like sabers. What makes saber for me like good in my opinion are those like type of trench coats. Those trench coats are always on sabers form. That's what
you know what? I believe someone said that Kamen Rider Live looks like he's part of Kamen Rider Saber's crew. And I saw that, and it made me laugh because that sucks if it's like that.
I mean, somehow because I think in the show, I think probably before Jian or something, I think Evil was the only I think at the time being Evil was the only rider to have one of the longer ancient sounds compared to F1.
I believe so, because I believe Live's henshin form is the same thing as any mini minimal, but it's no different now, isn't it? It's more lighter.
Yeah.
More jingles.
Yeah.
I noticed that it switched up, and I was like, it's still any mini minimal, but it's just like more goody kind of feel.
I love the two.
I love his weapon that it changes from a sword to a gun or a gas pump.
I prefer the sword better than the gun.
It looks shorter though, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's crazy, but I do like his helmet. I like that it looks like a bat. That's what I like about it. It looks pretty cool. Like it's like a bat. You can see it's a bat, but I feel like it's too bulky for me. Like everyone's suits look slim, and then you got Live, who's like a little bit bulky on the shoulders and chest piece. But I do love the fight scene he did. Obviously, that fight scene that I really wish I had an insert sound for it, but obviously they're gonna play the intro, which we didn't talk about, huh? We did not talk about the intro. What do you guys think of the intro? Totally forgot about that.
Intro of
Revice. Yes, Revice.
I don't really have anything special to say besides it looks pretty creative. If I have to say, one of the greatest things of the intro is the Vice dancing in the background.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite bit.
I love the song. I love the intro. The only thing I kind of feel like I think everyone wants to know is like they still have the happy family kind of smiling thing, you know? Usually they change the intro here and there, don't they? Usually mid-season to fit it.
Well, we're still in episode, is it 11 or 12?
We're in 12 now.
Yeah, we're in episode 12 now. I think if we give them some time, they'll eventually change it. Like I think for 01, I think it was after Shannon assault Hopper. That's when they changed the intro a bit.
Okay.
For Saber, Saber, they changed. I think they changed some scenes of the intro between when
Yeah,
crossover
okay.
deleted. Just give it some time. They'll fix that one later.
I didn't pay attention to Saber, so I don't remember. I kind of wanted to skip it.
Yeah.
Like with Revice, I'm just glued to it. It's like I said, it's going back and forth between Trigger and Revice. I'm just glued to it. Every episode, I need to see it. Like with Zekaiger's is like, nah, I don't care about it. It's already done. It's already like it's no long. It want like the first couple episodes of Zenkaiger was good, and then it just started going down. And it's like going more down. But like with these two episodes, like you have to see it. It's a must to see it.
Yeah, they're doing really good.
But
Zenkai just basically lost course at the moment.
pretty much, not even two Kaiser could save that.
If two guys I'm probably thinking that Saber. I'm probably thinking that Saber is the problem of the Zenkai at the moment because two Kaiser went into Saber's way.
Yeah.
Saber, two Kaiser, that's why. Even two Kaiser that normally got the spotlight, it's now for me now looks more of a side character now.
Yep. Now, okay, so yeah, obviously now we're going back to live. That fight scene was pretty cool. I love the shooting and I love the finisher he does, like a freaking bat kick, a bat flying towards you. Man, that's creative because obviously Revice finishes a stamp kick, and I think Demon is whatever weapon he's using as a finisher with a drill. It's a drill kick, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But like each one of the finishers is pretty cool. And then obviously we think Kagero's gone now, but as we know, he's not really gone. He's just probably just locked up again, just like how Daiji was locked up when Kangro trapped him. And then we finally get to our fourth Kamen Rider now.
Yeah.
Did I get it? Oh, I don't have a pic of. Do you guys have a pic of Sakura?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Of Jean? I thought I got it, but I guess I didn't.
No, what's going on?
But yeah, honestly, like obviously now we're focusing on our fourth writer. Now, I kind of feel that they're rushing a lot of writers, but I think they've been like, I think these are going to be the final. Yeah, that's the pick I was looking for. The final writer for now, I'm guessing, unless the mom and dad want to be writers too, then fuck it, the whole family. You know, because I feel like this is a good series because it's a family based Kamen Rider. I don't think we had a family based Kamen Riders in a while, right? At all? This is the first time we have a family. Yeah, I think this is the first time we have a family-based writers, which is like writers versus Deadman in a way, because they're family. So it's like family against family. Now, obviously, there's some mixed opinions about Jean Sakurai, that she wants to help, and she's whiny because she wants to transform, and she can't. And I obviously, in my opinion, and then I was joking it because I was trolling about the Trigger Revice beat Trigger. Obviously, I was joking about that. But honestly, to me, I feel like the way Sakurai was, because we know Sakurai is a strong person. Since the first episode, she was fighting Deadman. She's karate. She knows how to fight. She wants to be strong. And I think these two episodes kind of show her weakness side, in my opinion. Because yes, they know she's strong, but she's also weak. And I feel like the fact that they try to show her demon, and her demon is the weakling, and she's the strong person, kind of made sense because her demon is kind of like not a coward, but more of a weakling, as we've seen on the episode. It gets butt beat, and obviously the first time she henshins, like everyone's surprised that she's gonna henshin, but she does. It's a big fail, womp, which puts her score down. But I feel like Sakura as a character, she's okay. I get what she's going for. And honestly, she finally mentioned today's episode, or yesterday's. And I gotta say that I love the suit. It looks pretty cool. And I love the cobra motif, because we don't have that many. Again, another animal we don't see that much. Kind of like bat, which is cobra. We only have like, what? O's form, that's a Cobra, but that's a movie exclusive. So when you have Oja and who else is a Cobra?
Yeah, from Build.
Yeah, there's Build Evil, yeah. So it's good to have more characters, more animal types that we need in the show. Because Demon is Spider, and I think we don't have that many spiders anymore at all. I think this is our first Spider Kamen Rider, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think so. I'm not sure about that.
Because I mean, usually.
Wait. I think on the V Cinema movie of Kamen Rider Cross.
Oh, yeah.
With a spider. What's his name? I forgot. Kilva Spider.
Yeah. That's right. The red one. That's right. That's right.
So she's not the official first Spider Rider, but she does the first official TV.
Yeah.
Debut on the TV Rider.
That's right. And obviously we get introduced to her demon form, which is like a cobra with no legs, who keeps saying love and hug. But it's I love her fight scene she did. She actually did pretty good. Like her I love her finisher. It looks pretty cool. Like the snake goes into the foot and it just kicks right through it. Now, obviously this leads to a lot of speculations that maybe it's gonna be like family versus family. But then we also notice that in the picture that Ikki disappears as well now. And I mean, obviously, you guys have your opinion. What's your opinion on Sakurai / Jean?
Well, I thought that it's gonna have some resemblance to Kamen Rider Wizard because you probably see the transformation sequence, and she does almost the same.
Yeah.
Stand like Wizard. So
yeah, but then she twishes. She does a little different thing to it. I thought that too. I was like, is she gonna represent like Wizard and certain Heisei as well? But we don't know what she represents. Some say Showa, but I don't know what she's gonna represent because I think each writer represents a certain genre, right? Like evil represents, represents like evil writers, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or certain characters that were evil.
Yeah.
And obviously Showa. I mean, Revice represents certain Heisei. I think Neo Heisei, if I'm not mistaken.
Heisei and Neo Heisei.
Yeah, right.
Don't forget the Kuga, Faiz.
Oh yeah, Faiz and Kuga. Yeah. So I don't know what Jean's gonna represent. She might represent maybe a mixture of everything. I don't know for sure. But
maybe female writers.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, right. I do love that kick she did though. It reminds me of Chung Li, like the spinning kicks.
Oh yeah.
It's like obviously martial arts and kicking. She's a karate girl. But yeah, what do you think, Gospel, of the character? Or you still have more to say, Yuva?
No, I'll give Gospel the radio speech.
Gospel, do you have anything about Jean / Sakurai?
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like today's episode when I saw her crying. I didn't like that. Like you become a Kamen Rider because you cried. For me, that formula doesn't work well with me.
I mean,
when I saw Sakura, like go straight in, you like she's like normally a strong girl the rest, but that crying bit and the rest I didn't like it. Not even the fighting scene was great, but the suit is not it's not my the suit isn't great for me. I don't like it.
I don't know. I like the suit. It kind of fits this Cobra theme, kind of, even the back hair. I mean, the colors, like, blue and yellow is, like, not too much, because we've seen blue and yellow before. But, like, you could have did something else.
If it was blue and orange, probably could have, like, a little bit accepted, because, like, Kamen has done that before, and it really worked really well, but it would just give away, it would just be, like, copy and paste, so I guess they had to go with what they had.
I mean, her suit kind of the color scheme reminds me of, what's that, the ones that, like, they're like, it's an animal that they transform into warriors, kind of like those old the toku shows, like Beetleborgs and all that. Beat Fighters, I forgot what's it called. I think they show a comparison. Like it's like this robot cobra that it looks just like that color schemes. I forgot the name of it. It's a toku show, an old toku one, but they don't do it anymore.
They're normally, I think they're normally considered as metal heroes, but I
Yeah, there it
don't
is.
see it. I don't,
I don't know if she's gonna represent Metal Heroes, but that would be interesting if they do that.
yeah.
But yeah,
Like, but in my opinion, I don't like Sakura as a character. She was good on for me until this point. Apart from that, she's okay as a character.
I
As
think
a
it.
writer,
Go on.
as a writer, well, it's just the first episode, so I can't really I can't really put like my full like judgment on her here. So I know when like 2, 3 episodes before, like I can really give her like a final verdict.
Yeah, I kind of agree and disagree. I agree that it made her seem very weak and that why can't she transform and all that. But at the same time, I think it just made it pretty much. I think, in my opinion, that was her demon form, her devil form, like in her. She had to release it out. She had to realize that she is a weakling, and that was her devil form the whole time. Was the weakling part. She always she always hidden it to be strong, and I think even her mom said that she is strong, but she hides behind that.
I mean, in a way, I think it's also true as well because like if you put it in perspective now, Sakura is always like strong in the West, whilst our demon is like the opposite side of that.
Yeah.
It's like big because if you did watch it today's episode, that our demon was basically a liability, like getting stuck in places. Then those guys always kept attacking on the West. So the demon is pretty much a weak thing. But like for me, I think that like Sakura's inner demon has got more to that because you can't just tell me that someone just randomly ships someone's like gives someone's a belt. We don't know who the belt is coming from, and like basically you don't know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, exactly. And I wanna know what happens next because obviously our next episode is it's like a filler, but not really a filler, more like a vacation for Ikki and them. But we kind of see Kamen Rider Evil come back again. Now I want to know why Kamen Rider comes back evil again. Like I don't know, maybe his hatred towards his sister now, or because the fact that she wanted to enter the fights and he got mad. Who knows why Evil comes back again? But I'm curious that maybe Daiji could go back and forth. Maybe who knows? Maybe Kagero might become like good and like Dark Trigger, like help out.
I mean, for now, Kagura becoming good. That's basically. I don't think that's.
I know, but it's just a one thought. Like, what if I want to know if Kagero could split from Daiji and be his own? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, he'll find a host or something.
That's what I really want. They can be able to split Daiji and Kagura on its own. I think that would be way much better than than the body keeps switching to.
Because obviously, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw videos that people are like, they have the bell and they could turn back and forth by flipping it over and over, and they just keep flipping it. Like, I want to know if they do that. But I don't know yet. We don't know what's going to happen. Maybe they're going to fight. Obviously, we get introduced to a new form for Sakura, which are fans.
Yeah.
And I think someone speculated that was, I forgot which Kamen Rider. You can see in the stamp, there's like a V or something on top of it. Or some sort of like, I forgot which show writer. Someone mentioned it. Like if you look close, you can see a symbol on top of on the stamp. That's a certain writer. I forgot what it was. I think it's a show writer, but it's fans. But honestly, all in all, I think this series is way better than Saber will ever be. The first 11 episodes.
Definitely. I mean, Saber at this point, right? Saber at this point, the story was actually building up a little bit now. It's like taking its time, but I feel like with Saber, we spent too much time on that specific, like what's going on. Normally, with Saber, it takes you 2, 3, or even possibly 4 episodes to probably solve like the problem before you move on to the next story still inside the arc.
Yes.
Saber's story was slow, but this one like in in this with this one in 2 episodes you're basically done with moving on. That's what I like.
Yeah, I feel like these 11 episodes just feel fresh of breath of air. Like you're more intrigued on the family and the story, like everything around it. Everyone in this show plays like a part. Like you want to know who's who, what's what, who's gonna portray what is George's attention, what is the Phoenix attention. You know, everyone has a part in this series, and you want to know what's gonna happen. Why is Daiji disappear? I mean, why is Icky disappearing? And what's going like everything you want to know is like it's intriguing. Everything's bringing you in, and that's what's good. Like Saber had nothing that bring you in. Like it was just the same thing over and over. And while this series is just like it pulls you in.
Yeah, like also another thing is that in this 11 episodes, at least we're able to get some story development. In Saber, we got shit. Like
Yeah.
if till then, I don't still really know how like Saber like their story development is so pulled in so like in one episode that I just forget it, like all in one. Like if you actually tell me now like what's like thingy like Shinji background, I probably wouldn't even remember anymore because they make the thing so rushed and there's too many things going on. They don't focus it on like one person. That's the disadvantage of having too many characters in the show.
Yeah. What about you, Yuva?
Well, if I have to talk about Revice, I think the series plays a lot on the jealousy emotion. It's like a real life family. The older brother does things that makes the family proud, and the other brothers are jealous and they want to they want to surpass him. So if it was with that, if the first one was Daichi, he tried to surpass him and he failed. Then it went to Sakura, and she also failed to suppress Iki.
Yeah.
But maybe there is a lot of tension between the brothers, and it kind of represents real life issues, in my opinion. And I really found it very entertaining up so far, and they introduce a good amount of writers within this time. Compared to Saber, we've already been introduced to like
20?
8 writers.
Like a lot of writers down the throat. Like every episode's a new writer. Yeah, here it built up on the writers. Here it built up like 3 episodes, 2 episodes in. We got introduced to a new one. I think it was like 3 episodes each one, right? Like 4, 3. Demon didn't come into like I think 5 or 6. And same as Evil, like I think 4.
Well, in my opinion, I still think that. In my opinion, sorry that you were for cutting you off. In my opinion, I still think that Kamen Rider are still pushing in like riders way too fast. I still want them to slow down a bit, but it's probably not going to happen if they want the toy sale to keep rising.
I honestly think it's going to slow down now because we have 4 writers. There is no other writers. You know, unless like George becomes a writer or the Dead Man becomes a writer or something. But I don't think we have any other writers for a while. I think we're going to focus on all 4.
George would definitely become a Kamen Rider one way or another.
Or an evil writer, a boss writer. That'll be cool. Now, I do want to point out something I saw in episode 11, and that is, I forget his name, Demon. Like, he kept switching in, his stamps to the point where it blew up on him. And I don't understand how that happened because everyone else switches left and right, don't they?
They do, but like this one it seems like he did it in an excessive way, in my opinion.
Like to abuse it too much, like back and forth.
Yeah, I think that the belt will have its own limitation. It wouldn't different belts have got different uses. For example, like the reverse driver makes you control your demon. You've got the two-side driver like that, like gives like your demon basically full control onto you, like be able to open and the rest. So I guess like the demon's driver has some way it works. So it will have its own limitations, I guess.
Probably. I just hope they don't nerf him, man. I hope they don't just put him as a side character now or like a comedy character, because I will hate that. I will hate it. You know.
I guess we figured out what the figure that one out next episode.
Because I mean, George always punks him, and I kind of got annoyed by that. I'm like, dude, one of these days he's gonna pop you in the face, George. He's gonna hit you. You won't know it, but it's like it's gonna happen. But all in all, this series is a good series as it is for 11 episodes, which feels like it's not 11 episodes because it feels like it's too long. But like it built up everything that I think we needed in a Kamen Rider that we haven't had since Saber. It feels like 0-1 in a way.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah. Can I quickly say something as well?
uh,
Pointing out, you've said before about like real life situations. Basically, I think that Revice and 01 have some similarities in a way that because 01 got like because 01 got like all the COVID disruptions and the rest, so they had to quickly change the stories around the rest.
oh yeah,
But like the last I think it was like 5 episodes of the last 5 episodes before the one was about to end. I think they did a really good job over there to try to explain basically what's going on in the world, but like at the moment. That because especially like wars in the West, because you try to kill because you killed my thingy, or for example you killed my parents in the West, I'm going to kill you in the West. Those are all real life situations, and
yeah,
I like what like people complain that yeah the story was weak and the rest, but I want to give the writers like I want to give like the writers top notch for trying to think like basically when a show basically gets disrupted because of something and they have to rewrite everything again. It takes courage for you to change the writing. It takes a lot of courage. So for the writers to be able to try to bring you like some real life, like what happens on real life, to try to like put it in the last 5 episodes of 01, that was nicely done, and that's what they basically doing on Revice right now.
yeah.
Because basically those are family problems, and those are what some families are experiencing.
Exactly. I think that's what we all go through with families. Like this series feels like it connects us because I mean, all of us has gone through something like that with family. All of us.
Yeah.
And there's no such thing as a perfect family. There's always dysfunctional when it comes to family. No one's perfect, and it plays towards that. Like we all have a family we're jealous of. We all want to do better than that jealousy. Our family member is better than us. We all want to be better than them. Like everyone has something that lingers to it, and this show kind of connects to someone,
Exactly.
and
Yeah,
it's pretty good though. But there is something I do want to talk about, and it's like I think I forgot to mention. Do you know how George has all these collections of Kamen Riders? Now there was a theory that was saying that I think at the end of Saber, when he wrote the book, he combined he made Kamen Rider real, because I think on the last episode there was a human gear, if I'm not mistaken, on Saber.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
they supposedly said that I think Saber combined the story of Kamen Riders into the real world.
I'm sorry. According to what I heard, is that the Saber's world and Zoro's world are like interconnected. Like they connect themselves, so they were already connected.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why the human case showed at the last episode wasn't really explained, but according to the director, Saber's world, Saber, Zero Ones, and Revice world are basically the same world, basically.
Yeah, because I could have sworn I saw a human gear in Revice. I don't know if I saw that right or not.
It's alright. There was a human gear, so I believe they tried to change a little bit and make Reiwa at the same word, which is, I think, better in my opinion.
That would be interesting.
So Rewice is in the same world, while Heisei is not. That's why George has all his collections, Showa and Heisei.
It could give a very great potential for team-ups in the future or something like that.
Obviously, with the movies coming up with Saber, with and Revice, what I do like is the fact that they actually show all four They show all four of all the writers from Revice in the movie. Usually, they only just focus on the main character, right, and then maybe the side character. But it's the first time they're doing the whole family, because on the trailer it showed the sister. They showed the trailer before she even became a Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
So
every stable rider and every reverse rider, it seems to be returning, which is crazy.
Yeah,
Why?
except for the outfits. It's just George could summon them. He's DK, guys. It's confirmed.
I put $10 he's going to be the final boss of Revice.
Probably.
Yeah, my main question is, why does all of the MFs of Saber have to come in? I just probably at tops we just need 5 riders from Saber and call it a day. Why do we need the whole lot of the Saber cast in there again?
Because it's Saber. There's everyone in Saber. That's their whole Kamen Riders.
I mean, basically they are trying to turn this movie into Revice versus Super Sentai, basically. Because I can't just keep having 10 big, like, for example, Superhero Senki, like, basically the amount of riders that we have, basically have we've got every riders for every generation, plus the additional 10 riders that Saber has. That cast, that like the whole riders over there, basically outmatches the amount of Sentai teams over there. Because the Sentai is just
Yeah.
the Reds.
But it's a crossover with Saber and Revice. What they expect? They're gonna get every Saber cast. They're not just gonna get only just the 3. That's it.
I don't need 3. If you could just get me Toma Rintaro, Espada, Psycho, then I don't know, probably get like the Shidai siblings as well. That one's more than enough for me. Don't even get the whole lot of the characters.
I mean, they're available. That's why they're getting all of them. They're available. They can't get other Kamen Rider because they're expensive to get. These guys are like barely out of it, so they could still afford them or get them in.
I mean, what pisses me off the most is that Sophia is Caliber, and she's also in the movie. That one's pretty atrocious for me.
Well, maybe they're in spirit. We don't know yet. Maybe they're trapped in there. Who knows?
Yeah, but like we said, that the Reiwa is all about collaborating together.
Yeah.
Because we said that probably they're all in the same world. So if we take, for example, Avengers Endgame, everyone came from different universes. There was like thousands against millions, and it could be the same for Revice and Saber. They try to bring everyone in, so to show they really mean it. Like every Reiwa rider is connected.
It's a shame 01's not there though. They couldn't get the actor, but I think the actor's doing movies, right, or TV shows.
Yes.
Yeah, I think moving. Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing TV shows with Valkyria.
Maybe he will return.
I think I saw a picture. Someone added him into it, but who knows? I mean, he came in the Superhero Senkai, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he probably could do any certain team up movies. Because I thought he was not going to show up until they showed him. I was like, oh, he actually did show up.
I was really going to be disappointed if he didn't actually go for that movie.
They could probably get his voice just to voice act it. That's still something.
I mean, if it was voice acting, that could have been good as well. But if he had no relation at all, and they just brought in use voice lines, that's gonna be really disappointed.
Yeah.
Because he legit said that he would literally crap for the 10 years anniversary of 01. So because there was some rumors that said that hey, 01 won't be in the Superhero Senki movie. And I was pissed off that night, going like, if this guy says that he wants to come back for 10 years 01 anniversary and doesn't show up for Superhero Senki, then basically what this dude is saying about the 10 years 01 anniversary is basically crap.
Yeah. We'll see how the movie goes because I want to see how this movie is. Even though I hate sabers, I just want to see Revice in it. And May. You have to have the Shiva sister. I need her in there.
Yeah.
I'm basically hyped for the movie because when was the last time we got a superhero Tyson movie? It has been a while.
I think Wizard. No, not Wizard and Gaim. No, not Wizard and Gaim.
It was the last one was
Drive?
X8 and Q Ranger.
Yeah, there it is. X-Sabers. Yeah, there it is. X8. Yeah, X8. Yeah, right. That was the last one we did.
That was a very long. And the old dude said that hey, there won't be any more superhero Tyson movies, we're going to focus more. Sentai and writers will be focused more on their own type of movies and how they'll be interacting and shit.
Nah.
Then fast forward a couple of years later, there's what we've got Superhero Senki. And what did the guy say? The guy said, "Hey, this is our last superhero collab between Center and Rider, because we need to find a way to collaborate to make each individual teams have more collaboration with themselves, which I think is basically a cap. I think they're trying
You
to
can. Honestly, in my opinion, I think team up movies are a lot more better than solo movies. Except for maybe like Kamen Rider. Kamen Riders could do some good team ups with themselves. Some. They're all bad. There's some good ones.
Yeah, like the one. I think like the one movie was solid. That was really solid. On its own, it was really good.
Yeah, like I love Zeo combined with 01. That was a good movie. That was a good team up.
Really, really good movie. Another Daybreak. That was a really good movie.
But there's some team ups that are bad. But like Sentai movies are not that great. Like their versus series were like fun. And the in my opinion, the best versus series for Sentai is Gokaiger versus Goseigers. That's the best versus movie because they actually legit fight for a reason. All these other Sentai versus, they never had. They just fight because they fight. That's it.
Basically, yeah, no real motive. Also, Gokaiger versus Go Busters. That was also a good one, especially the mech fights. The mech fights were really
True. That was a lot more better than Go Buster versus Kyorgers. Featuring Dino teams. Yay, that. Let's not make that again.
I can't allow you this that movie. Sorry, I can't allow you this that movie. That movie has a special place in my heart. I can't allow you this that movie.
I feel bad because Go Busters got pushed to the side, man. If just call it next time, just call it Dino Team. Don't call it Go Busters versus. Just call it Dino Team Up. Plain and simple.
Yeah. I guess I understand what you're trying to say, but I can't let you this. That movie really had an impact. Yuja is one of the specialties of Super Saiyan.
To you, I don't like that series. Everyone has their opinion though. Everyone likes what they like.
I love Yuja so much. Those are my ones. So
The only reason I don't like Kyojin because it brought me the whole hyperactive. I could do a Kamen Rider Red Rangers. It started it all.
Daigo.
Yes, Daigo. I could do everything, Daigo.
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, obviously we're probably gonna end this stream already or this recording. Any final thoughts about what do you want to see more on Revice? Like what else? What more do we want for Revice?
Basically, for me, I don't really want any. I don't want much. I just want them to continue with steady speed of like the story and the rest. I guess I think they're doing really well at the moment compared to Saber. And I really wish that the story actually continues like this, nicely paced. And like, if they have some slip ups, I wouldn't actually mind. But like, if after like example of like Ghost and the rest, if they didn't have from the specific episode they start to slip up really badly, I'll get really annoyed because like so far they've been doing really well. So I just want them to continue this, like the story should have a nice steady pace, continue with the family. And once they figured out the second arc really well, they should just jump in. I'm ready to take the business with the Revice. I am.
Alright, Yuva, do you have any thoughts about how the series should be, or you okay how the series is going?
Yeah, well, so far Revice is going very good, despite all the negative and bad points that are going on around it.
Yeah, especially with
the Vice,
yeah,
voice actor.
The voice actor saying some racist stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I saw there before Revice began. I saw a lot of tweets and comments of "Do not watch Revice because one of the actors there is racist and all this." And I thought it's going to change somehow the series, and you can see it doesn't really change it.
No,
But
I
you can
think what it is like if the
stay.
person is racist, you shouldn't attack the characters that they play because voice acting, it's a character they play. You can attack the person that's saying that stuff, but the character is not based on that guy. It's a totally different
Yeah.
kind of person, you know. Yeah, you could not hire the guy to do voice acting anywhere else. That you could do, but don't attack the characters he's already playing. Don't force us to not watch a show because it has it. You know, punish the actor, yes, but don't punish the character he's playing. But I feel like they do
And
kind
the
of
funny
punish it
thing,
because Vice doesn't get any forms. He's just he becomes either the top or the bottom or some sort of form of it, but he doesn't get his own form, which is good. So I guess in a way they're kind of punishing it. Who knows?
yeah, but the funny thing is that he is my favorite character in the system.
I
To be
agree.
honest, and
I agree.
I really like his 3, 2, 1, and
Yeah.
his fourth break.
I honestly,
Sorry,
I kind of,
is very good.
I kind of laughed at the end of this episode because the Cobra was called him a loser, and he's like, "What? Did you call me a loser?" And she just keeps saying love and hug, love and hug. It's like I know I heard you say that. I made me laugh because it's like good, but yeah,
It's such a bro.
Vice is really good. Like, if you actually get to think about it, um, we're talking about like real weird stuff now. Like that guy that they're basically
Oh, yeah.
criticizing not to. That guy that they're criticizing that they shouldn't watch Revice. He was actually the one that actually provided the sounds for the Caesar Blaster of Q Ranger. So basically, I don't know how Q Ranger toy sales were, but I think they were actually decent with the gimmicks and the rest. So if people were actually happy to buy all those toys over here, so I don't see why.
exactly. That's what I said. Don't punish the character. Punish the voice actor. That's always my opinion. Whenever it is, because I had that issue with I think the voice actor of Brawly from Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super. They were making allegations against him and they just dropped his character completely. Like that's like, but obviously we don't know. I think they found him innocent or something. That they were just doing it, but they got rid of his character completely. Not his character, but they got Johnny Young Bush to play Brawly now, which is the Atom. So like I said, don't put like if you're gonna punish people, punish the actors, not the characters they play, because that's their characters they're known for. Don't punish it because you're going based on the character of the show, based it on the person who did it, the main person. Don't hire them anymore. Don't get them jobs anymore, you know. But don't cancel the characters they play. That's unfair.
I mean, look at Zenkaiju right now. Gege, that's like the good type of thing. Remember the voice actor? He cheated on his wife with someone else over there. Because of that doesn't mean that they've gotten rid of Gege. Immediately, it took like 2-3 weeks. They found another voice actor replacement.
Yeah.
Immediately, and the show is going on as normal.
Yeah, exactly. It's like saying, DK actor cheated on his wife multiple times. He has different ones. You don't get rid of the actor. He's still doing it. You know.
People are still loving him as well. So
Yeah, who doesn't like Tsukasa? He's like the most popular the Kamen Rider. The show is bad, but the Kamen Rider is popular.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Keeps returning and returning.
he's returning again.
Yeah. Well, after Zio said he's not going to portray his character again, but a year later he returned to the spin-off of Rider Time, Zio versus Decade.
Man,
So,
that guy could
it's
say
fun.
he's not gonna come back, but it's his form that's popular for. He's always gonna come back to play a Decade with his many hairstyles.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this time the kid actually like truly died. This like the kid's like true ending. So I like me story wise. I don't see how the kid's gonna come back. But it's fucking toys. So they will find a way and bring him back.
Yeah, it's Toei. He'll be like, oh, well, I need to collect more rider forms. New belt.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys. Well, obviously, we all agree that Revice is a very breath of fresh air now. It's one of the seasons that's very good. It's obviously it's always gonna be neck and neck with Trigger. Let's be real. It's legit neck and neck with Trigger. You know, it's just one of those series that's actually doing it. Despite all the bad stuff that's going with Revice behind closed doors, it's the show we're watching, not the back door of it. You know. So
There is
as long as the show doesn't
there is
change characters or do like Hikibi did mid-season, change everything around, we should be fine. You know?
I think Revice in total is a very great series, and I really wish they would continue this way because so far they're good. They're doing a really good job. I don't have anything else to say about Revice, to be honest. It's
Of course.
a very solid show.
I definitely want to stream it on Twitch, like the whole series, just for people could watch it. That way they could see it for themselves. Because I know Twitch doesn't really track you like YouTube does. Toei will track you down, they track you down.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah. Alright, guys. Well, that's going to be today's talk. It was a long talk. I believe it's like 2 hours? I don't know. Mine says 100 minutes already. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's already going to be 2 o'clock. But yeah, guys. Thank you guys for joining the talk. We'll probably talk more, I guess, when the season ends. Our final thoughts. I definitely do want to do a Trigger talk, too, when season ends on Trigger as well.
Yeah, everyone in the video, hashtag rest in peace, superhero time. We're out.
Alright. I'll see you guys. Have a good day.
Bye bye.